Yo, what is up, guys? This is EP Snap Podcast. I'm Paul,
And I'm Emmanuel.
and this is episode 2.
So, Paul, today we're going to be talking about psychedelics, what what effects it has on the brain. Because I know a lot of people have opinions on it.
Yeah, I know
And
you got a lot of experience, right?
no, no,
No?
no,
Let
I'm
me
actually
tell you
clean.
about me, though. So, me and my boy, you probably didn't see me on that halftime show last year, but yeah, I was on that. But you know why? I got connections with my boy Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
So, me and my boys produced a song. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm about to sing it to you. Ready? So what we get drunk. Yo, you guys can't be here because we're talking about a podcast,
and they can't hear you
and
because
this
you're not
is
at the mic.
some bad stuff that you guys can't hear.
Yeah.
Yes, bad stuff. Like, what do you guys think about? Yeah, what do you guys think about
Sit,
smoking?
sit right here. What? No, no, no. What do you think about drugs?
Come
You
here,
gotta
come
get to
here.
the mic.
Bad. I'm telling you, never take them.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
what do you think about
They're
smoking?
very sick and die.
That it's bad for your health because smoke gets in your lungs and then
Get closer to the
you
mic.
You
get
die.
sick.
You die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for
What do
being
you
our
think? What do you
special
think? You got
guest.
anything?
You can
It's
go.
very bad for your lungs, and if you take them, you can die.
Okay, you said the same.
Dun,
Yo, you're 11 years old. You said the same thing as a 6-year-old. Good job.
All right, let's go. All right, but actually, on a serious note, what was the video that you're talking about? Yeah, what was the video that you're talking about?
Yeah, so me and my boy Snoop Dogg actually we produced a song and I was featured on it. So do you want me to sing it?
Sure.
Got you. So what we get drunk, so what we smoke weed. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what we go out.
Then
That's
it's
how it's supposed to
be. Yo, I actually
be.
like that. I ain't gonna lie.
You do?
All right, but actually, on a serious note,
Yeah,
let's
Snoop
get let's
actually
get.
put me on the Zaza, and all I did was go rah
All
rah.
right, bro, stop, bro, please. All right, let's get serious. So, what what are the effects of psychedelics? Because I know a lot of people have different opinions on them, what they do, if it's a good effect, bad effect. What do you think?
Actually, I read this thing, and many people do it to feel good.
Uh-huh. You know the
Like,
brain receptors
yeah, the
feel
feel
good.
good hormone.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
right here, there's good effects. They say classic psychedelics such as psilocybin and LSD enter the brain with the same receptors as serotonin, which is the body's feel good hormone.
Uh-huh.
And they say serotonin helps control body functions such as sleep, sexual desire, and psychological states such as satisfaction, happiness, and optimism.
And with the sleep, so I have a couple people that I know that have done like LSD, shrooms, and it said that it gives you good sleep, but they told me the opposite. They said that they couldn't sleep for a lot of hours because it didn't kick in right away, right?
Hmm.
So, like honestly, I feel like when the internet's saying this stuff, they just have that one main reason that it helps relieve depression, helps relieve anxiety, and all those. Do you do you think that's true, or there's like actually good things to say about like psychedelics and what it does to your actual brain?
See, I've never done them, so I
Uh-huh.
can't really say based on personal experience,
Right.
but I feel like people maybe do them. Maybe it does let them feel better.
Hmm.
I'm not really sure. But honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it's a great idea at all because there's also many side effects, bad effects of them, and it can lead you to addiction to them, which is what most of the time happens.
Hmm.
And people end up in bad places, bad things happening, and I just don't feel like it's a good idea.
Have you ever been peer pressured by anybody to take any drugs or any of that?
No, I have not actually. I have friends and I have people that I know from school or that I knew before that I wouldn't even say psychedelics. I would just say like smoke and stuff, like weed and stuff. Like they would ask you, they would just be like, "Yo, you want to smoke or anything?"
Mm-hmm.
And but no one peer pressured me. It's not
Mm-hmm.
really like that. Like, have any peer pressure happening to you at all?
Yeah, I have had a couple people, but I feel like it was only done because when you're feeling that moment, I've never done it also, but I feel like when you're in that moment, apparently you think about a lot of things and you can have a clear mind and it just helps relieve a lot of things. So when people are trying to peer pressure you to do something and when they're acting on it, they want to make you feel the same thing that they're making themselves feel at that moment. So they want a partner to experience the same thing. So, but yeah, I've had a couple people ask me, but I just feel like when you're getting peer pressured, I feel like it's important to uh, go back to your roots and know what you stand for yourself, because you don't want to get peer pressured into doing something that somebody else wants you to do. You make your own choices, you have your own thoughts, you have everything else. So I feel like it's important for people to take this very seriously. It's not just psychedelics, it could be something else, right?
Yeah.
Like alcohol, because alcohol it also has very bad effects. Like people after they drink alcohol, they go dry, right? So and it can turn into car accidents, and it's a bad habit, which also gets addictive. So yeah, I would just say be careful when somebody's trying to offer you something, because my parents always told me that stick up for yourself in any situation and understand a bad circumstance from your mind when you know that is bad. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and honestly, you shouldn't be taking like random things from people that they're offering. Like
right,
it's just like common sense. Like if somebody's offering you this and you don't even know what it is, what's the point of trying?
right.
But there are many like people who are very gullible to that situation. They're just like, yeah, sure, I'll try. You're my friend. I got that. I trust you. Blah blah blah.
Oh.
And yeah, of course, it's good to trust your friends, but you never know what can happen or what they can
Hmm.
give to you.
Um, like I said, do you think that it is that there are any good effects? Like you said that it helps relieve depression and stress, but is that actually true? Is there effects that actually make that happen? Because I feel like even though it puts you in a different situation mentally, it still can have a big effect on you mentally and can help ruin things. But I had one person tell me that after he was done taking shrooms, he rethought his life choices through that process. Him made him realize a lot of things about his life. But I feel like people just say that because they hear that stuff on the internet
Mhm.
and they that's the first thing they go to. So yeah.
See, I don't really agree with psychedelics. Like, I don't think people should be taking them, but I also like know people who said that like they benefited them.
Hmm.
So, for example, I'll give you one example that shouldn't happen, which is pretty much depression. Many people, let's say they broke up with their girlfriend or they broke up with their boyfriend, they're like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what I should do. I feel depressed. I'm so sad. Sad. Let me go smoke."
Hmm.
Or like, "Let me go do this."
That's a
Just
good one, bro.
I know, or like people be like drinking, be
Yeah.
smoking, getting high just because they broke up with someone,
Hmm.
and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Uh-huh.
Like, why are you doing this? Because you broke up. Like, I get, it was like a 2 year relationship or like a long relationship, but just because of that, you shouldn't be taking drugs or doing something you shouldn't.
Right.
There's also instances where people have the medical prescriptions
Uh-huh.
for like weed. I know a friend that has one because he has like ADHD and it helps him calm him down, or they have something else going on, but they have medical like marijuana, which like keeps them calm, calms them down, lets them think better. Like I don't know, I don't know anything about that, but
Hmm.
I feel like if you're in that stage, it's just you shouldn't be taking them. Like if you broke up with someone, just maybe get some time off. Maybe go burn some time by take a walk outside, take a jog. If you're an athlete, go play your sport, get your mind healthy. Go out with your friends. Play some basketball, play some soccer. Get your mind off that one person that you're like addicted to.
Right, there's many different ways. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to a person that is in that stage of their life taking psychedelics or alcohol, um, do you think they would listen to the advice, or they would act like they're listening to it, but then they go off doing the same old thing that they
See,
usually do?
most of the time, people they act like this. They take your advice, like they hear you out.
Hmm.
Especially if you're their friend and you're their friend, and they always listen to their friends, especially like best friends.
Right.
Like they'll listen to you, they'll hear you out, they'll take it in mind, but they're still gonna do it, right? I feel like people learn from their mistakes. So let's say they take those drugs or they smoke or they get drunk off this, blah blah blah. Let's say they do that and they don't feel better about the situation, or they make some mistake or mess up somewhere, get into some trouble, then they're gonna think about it after their mistake. They're gonna be like, damn, why didn't I listen to my friend? Or like, why didn't I listen to his suggestion? Maybe it was better off not to take these substances or
Hmm.
whatever they're taking
Yep.
or drinking. So I think it happens after you make a mistake
Right.
or fall into some problem. That's my opinion. What do you have to say about that?
Actually, I just want to go to I had to do a research project on like it was just a topic, pick a topic, and I did do psychedelics, and what I found pretty
Are you
interesting.
trying to break my chair or something?
Sorry, sorry,
No.
sorry. What I
Hey,
found what I found pretty interesting was when I had to put a video of like the view of what you see when you're in, like after you take the psychedelics, what you see when you're in that moment for those couple hours that it affects you. It was like it's like two-faced almost, very blurry, very it's just like very transparent. When you're walking, you feel like I can see why people feel like they're in a different world and from what I heard of. So I feel like that's cool and all, but it just like what's the purpose, right? Like me, I haven't taken anything, and I even if I'm depressed, even if I have an anxiety, I find other ways to comfort myself and deal with all the stress. So I know earlier you said a couple things about other ways to do it. Is there any other ways that you can do that helps you relieve stress and anxiety without doing psychedelics?
yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways. Especially like I told you, like getting your mind off of something,
Uh-huh.
or like if you're in depression or something, or in a problem, like um, just get your mind off of it. Go outside, take a walk. Maybe even watch a movie. Just you got to get your mind off that one thing or that one person.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you a question. So, what's your opinion with like athletes doing it? Because I know there are many athletes out there that are even like really good athletes and they just still just like smoke weed every day. They drink a lot. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I also feel that it can affect you in a negative way. It's even if you're an athlete or a person, you're still the same. You're a human being. So some people are gonna have different effects. Some people's mindsets are different, right? So athletes who take it, I feel like they don't take it as to gain a new experience. They take it because they have nothing else to do with their life. They play their sport and they have all the money in the world. So why not go and spend it on psychedelics and alcohol and all that? They wanna feel that joy, and after all the hard work that they go through, they want to feel relaxed. And I had one person come up to me, and and I asked him, "Why are you doing this? Didn't you tell me that you have no money left, and every paycheck that you get, you spend it on psychedelics and beer?" And he said, "Yeah, I know, I just can't stop." Well, I told him, rethink what you're thinking, because if you're telling me that you're not having money every week because you're trying to save up, or you're trying to do this, he wanted to start a business right away. But I told them, how can you start a business with no money and you're spending it all on these things, psychedelics, alcohol, prescription drugs, all this stuff that it like plays with your mind and makes you feel like you're in a different dimension almost. So
I mean, yeah, addiction is a big thing.
yeah.
Like, there's many people out there that are just so addicted to this one thing, even like vaping or like
Oh, I hate vaping. Oh my.
so many people in our generation just can't stop. and they will tell you they'll stop. Maybe they will stop for a couple weeks, couple months, maybe a year if it gets to that. But then it just gets back to that point and starts back up again. Like addiction is a big thing in our society, and it is a big problem. But I feel like it's like you can overcome it.
Hmm.
You just gotta. I don't even know, like make better decisions. Get your mind off that one thing that you're addicted to.
Hmm. And I know in vaping there's it's nicotine, right? And
Yeah.
nicotine is the addictive thing that messes with your brain receptors, right? So, do you think
And it
that
also affects your lungs too.
right, right,
So
well,
many people end up in hospitals after
right,
vaping,
and
right?
there's vaping ads all across the internet, vaping ads, alcohol ads, I don't know if they're psychedelic ads, right? But
I watch some shows on like the CW app and stuff like that,
uh-huh.
and every time there's an ad, it's always like, "Stop vaping. You want your friend to die?
Yeah.
No, then stop vaping."
Yeah. And people still do it, right? Like, I just, I don't understand what else has to be done for there to be a change. Because I feel like other generations in our world, it was, man, I don't know, it was just very different, right? So, people just, people like have no sense of what's around them. They're stuck in this own bubble and in their own circle, just doing one thing, and then it turns into other things. And like I said about peer pressure earlier, um, yeah, but
Yeah, so I actually know this that like all of these psychedelics, they do make people feel more awake, alert. That's why some people love doing it before they drive because it feels they feel confident, energetic. Like it's like because the stimulants they include like caffeine, like and even cocaine, like it makes you like boost up with energy.
mhm.
But
Well,
then there's
that's why there's
but then
energy drinks,
if you
right?
take like large doses of them, like there's also these side effects like anxiety, you attack or like have a lot of panic. They have seizures, headaches, stomach cramps, aggression, and paranoia. And I feel like I just would never want to risk that for myself and my body.
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, man, I don't know what to say. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I want to ask you this also. So let's say your father, your dad,
Hmm.
you have kids. I don't even know how old he can be. Maybe I'll say like he's 16 years old, coming back from hanging out with his friends, like high school friends, or just friends in general. I don't even know. And he comes home and you just smell weed, or like you see he's high. You can just tell. What's your thing in that like situation? Are you gonna scream? Are you asking what happened? Like, what are you trying to do in that situation?
It depends, right? Because every family is different. There's a family where they do the same stuff, so honestly, it would be careless. They wouldn't care.
Well, let's say this is you.
Oh, this is me.
This is
Okay.
you. You're the dad, and your son comes home first time you ever caught him. Let's say it's his first time
Well,
ever.
since I don't have a suitcase myself, my parents want to buy me one, so I'd have to pay for it myself, and I would have to get the hell out of the house. But, um,
Let's get
yeah,
back on track. This is you. What are you doing?
what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What am I doing? Like, in what?
You're the dad.
Oh, I'm the
You have a
dad.
16-year-old son that comes home right now.
Oh,
What are
but
you
I'm the
doing?
dad. I'm the dad.
Yes, you're the dad. You're not 16, right? And you don't
No.
smell like weed right now. Okay,
No,
that's
no,
good.
but if I'm the dad
Yeah.
and I smell weed, I just ask him, where were you? Why does it smell like weed, you know? And I'll be like, yeah, pack your bags and get the hell out of my house, you know?
All right, guys. So let's pack our bags and get the hell out of the house.
Oh, oh, he's
Yeah, but
back.
I agree with you. Um, if I feel like if it's my son and that happens to him for the first time, I wouldn't really like scream at him. I know my parents would probably kill me, but
Hmm.
um, if it was my son, I would definitely talk to him, give him a good convo, like ask him what happened, ask him why he did it, ask him if he just decided or he got peer pressured, because it all depends on the friends too. Like some friends can just ask or tell him to do it and he's gullible and he just does it. But sometimes they peer pressure him. And I don't really think my son should have friends that can easily peer pressure him.
Right. And
He
do you
should also
think
be able to stand for himself, you know.
right? And do you think family has a big influence? Because I said before you stopped me how it depends on the family. Because it depends how you're raised, right? Some family members, they've been going through this all their life, and they have these the side effects, not of the drugs, but of what the parents have done. So, and then there's another family that's just, I guess, holy, or like never done any wrong, and teach discipline into their kids of what not to do. So, it's obviously a two-sided way, but. Yeah, what do you think about family influence on drugs and all that?
Yeah, I mean, family is always a big thing. You know, I grew up in a family where it's very strict,
Mm-hmm.
strict rules, because you just want to be safe. You want to act the right way, make the right decisions. And I totally agree with my family because I'm happy the way that I was raised. But yeah, it depends on family because there's many people whose parents don't care what they do or like if they get in trouble, their parents will just be like, "Why'd you do it?" He'll be like, "I don't know." And his dad will be like, "All right, don't do it again." And that's it. And then they do it again. Like they're very like it just gets addictive to them, especially if their parents are like that. And yeah, it all depends on family at the end of the
Come here,
time.
Reggie. Come here. Come here, sit
Yo,
down.
before we end this episode, what do you got to say?
What do you want to say, huh?
Um,
What do you want to say? Do you know what psychedelics are?
no.
What do you got to say for this before we end this episode today? What do you got to say to all the fans, you know?
Get close to the mic.
I don't think you have any fans, actually.
Well, we're getting to that. Maybe if you act better, maybe we will.
What do you think? What do you think?
Um,
Wait, let's say you're a dad, right? And you see your son come home smelling like weed or has
Like
drugs
smoke.
or has drugs in his hand. What are you saying to that person?
I would say probably that throw that out in the trash
Uh-huh.
and don't do that again.
But what if they keep doing it? What if they don't listen? What if they're disobedient?
Um, I'll probably
Awkward silence.
I will say to them, so don't.
Don't do it. But what if, what I said, what?
Alright, but what do you got to say? Let's say you're the dad and your son comes home and he smells like cigarettes, like smoke. What are you telling him?
I'm telling him to stop. If he doesn't stop, he's getting built.
He's getting the belt?
Yeah.
You're gonna give him the belt.
Yeah.
Your belt.
I'm about to give you the belt.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Alright, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Please check
Goodbye.
out in our description